Fujifilm has been pushing the limit with its X series cameras, and X-T3 is a powerful inclusion in the lineup. After its release, the Fujifilm XT3 was able to gain enormous acceptance to APS-C camera lovers for its excellent burst shooting, impressive autofocus, and video capturing quality. But the question is it still worth buying? And what are the pros and cons of this camera? In this video, we are going to discuss all these for you. So with that being said, let's get started. The Fujifilm XT3 features a 26.1 megapixel APS-C X-Trans BSI CMOS 4 sensor. Because the sensor is backside illuminated, it has a comparatively faster sensor readout ability and better low light performance. Apart from that, it comes with the X Processor 4, which is a quad-core processor and provides faster performance. Previously, the XT2 could shoot 11 frames per second with the mechanical shutter while using continuous autofocus, but that required you to attach a vertical grip to the XT2 and it was expensive. However, with the XT3, you can shoot the same 11 frames with the mechanical shutter and with continuous autofocus, but you don't need the vertical grip for that. So cheers for saving those extra bucks. And if you switch to an electronic shutter, you can shoot 30 frames per second of blackout-free images. Though there is a 1.25 times crop factor for those extra frames per second, still, it is a very useful option to many, especially if you are shooting sport or wildlife. Besides, it incorporates the color chrome effect, which lets you capture more details and colors from shadows. Besides, this camera also allows for adjusting tone when you are shooting monochrome images. The Fujifilm X-T3 is capable of shooting UHD 4K videos at 60 frames per second with 420 10-bit sampling. And if you choose to use an external recorder, you can record 4K 60 FPS at 422 10-bit. And because of the high-speed performance of the quad-core processor, which allows for faster readout speeds of only 17 milliseconds, there is little rolling shutter issue. So you can capture fast-moving objects without much distortion, which is really a plus for sport or wildlife shooting. Additionally, if you want to push the video footage quality a bit further, you can drop the frame rate to 30 or less and it will enable you to capture full-width 4K oversampled footage. As for the color, this camera offers about 11 stops of dynamic range, which is not very exciting. However, there are options to level up the dynamic range to up to 400%. But for that, you have to increase the ISO, which would introduce noise in your footage. Apart from that, this camera also lets you shoot using the F-Log, which allows for retaining more dynamic range and retrieving it through post-production. Besides, there is a headphone and microphone jack, which is handy for shooting videos. Fujifilm X-T3 has an impressive autofocus system that features 2.16 million phase detection pixels and gives you 100% frame coverage. The light sensitivity for autofocus has also been improved compared to the Fujifilm X-T2. X-T3 can detect subjects in as low light as -3 exposure value, whereas for X-T2, it was only -1 exposure value. The face detection and eye detection are adequately fast and don't seem to lose the subject even if the subject suddenly turns around. However, there is no in-body image stabilization in the X-T3, which is a bummer, so you might find handheld shooting a bit challenging. However, you can use lenses with optical image stabilization to achieve some degree of stabilization in your footage. Fujifilm has included a 0.5-inch OLED electronic viewfinder to the X-T3, which has a whopping 3.69 million dots to give you a sharper and crisp view of the frame. Moreover, with 100 frames per second refresh rate, the viewfinder is almost lag-free and has a difference of only 0.005 seconds. There is also a lockable diopter adjustment dial which ensures an in-focus view through the viewfinder. However, its 3-inch LCD display has only 1.04 million dots, which is not up to the mark if you compare it with other mirrorless APS-C cameras of the same price range. Moreover, it still has only a 3-side tilting display, but it doesn't flip 180 degrees, which would definitely frustrate vloggers. The XT3 features a dual card slot, and the good news is both the slots are compatible with UHS 2 memory cards for faster and accurate file storage and transfer. Besides, you can also use one of the cards as a backup while you are shooting. Apart from that, the Fujifilm XT3 comes with an NPW126S lithium-ion battery, which allows you to shoot about 390 shots per charge. And if you want to improve the battery performance, you can attach the VG-XT3 additional battery grip, which allows you to shoot around 1100 shots per charge. So that was all about the Fujifilm XT3. Undoubtedly, the XT3 is still an impressive camera for beginners with an affordable price tag. It has an improved sensor, fast-performing processor, great autofocus, and superb still and video capturing ability. Though it lacks in-body image stabilization, this is what you can get within this price range. So what are your thoughts about the Fujifilm XT3? Let us know in the comment section.